we're back. And we're going to put in our cornbread now, our muffins that we've made. We've decided to make sweet muffins, sweet cornbread muffins. And you can decide whatever type that you want to make. It can be just regular, homemade style cornbread, southern style cornbread, what have you. If you have a recipe that you want to use, that's fine as well. We just have a package that we purchased at the store. You can get Martha White or Jiffy or whatever kind works best for you and your household. We're going to stick that in the oven. And just follow your recipe guidelines based on how high you should have your oven and things like that, how much batter you should use in the muffin pan, or if you're going to do the full-scale frying pan where you stick that in the oven, that's up to you. Some people that make southern cornbread stick the whole pan in the oven, especially if they have like a cast iron type of skillet. They call it the fried cornbread. So whatever kind you want to make, that's fine. Ours at this point is just the muffin mix made by Martha White. Now we're going to get started with our beef sausage for Hillshire from Hillshire Farm. This is kind of the brand that we normally use. But again, I'm not doing advertisement for Hillshire because none of these people are sponsoring us or anything like that. I'm just simply telling you the kind that me and my family prefer and choose. Something that we all like and will eat versus trying to figure out, do we want to use another type of sausage or another type of smoked patty of some sort. Now we have our big daddy over here, the Dutch pan frying up. Going to inlay them. You can cut them up however you want to once you open up your package. You can cut them lengthwise, short like these. You can cut them in half. You don't even have to fry them. You can either, opt to put them in the oven as well as you can opt to just put them in a microwave. When I used to take breakfast into work and used to take the beef sausages in for a type of breakfast patty, I would just, cook them in the microwave. So you can choose to cook them however you want to. Then we're going to let you see that our cabbage is coming along. You can hear the sizzle. It's frying up really good. Still hasn't got to that point where it's cooking all the way, but I'm going to stir it a couple of times, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. And my motto is clean as you go. And that way you can sit down and eat with your family or your friends, your roommates, even if you're a single person. You want to sit down and eat and enjoy your food. And also, speaking of single individuals, you can always take these meals and, take them for lunch throughout the week at work if it's too much food to cook for 3, 4, or 6 people. You can always do that. You can share with a friend at work, or you can share with your family. Sometimes I take out excess foods or foods that I think that my parents would like because they're in their 80s. And I take them some meals. So you can always do that with any excess food that you have so that you're not wasting anything. Or you can cut down the portions by half. Also, a good thing is to always use a timer. Clean as you go. Use a timer. This timer is set to go off in a couple of minutes because our cornbread should be nicely browned at that point in time. When you're frying foods, you want to use something to, catch the excess grease and things like that. You want to, drain the grease off of it. We're going to use that for our sausage when they're done. Also, we want to make sure that, we wash our hands often and our surfaces like our counters and stoves. That's a part of cleaning as you go. A couple other pointers is to use the seasonings, and of course you want to just lightly coat your food with the seasonings or season them to taste if you want to taste as you go. A lot of times when I am finished with my cabbage, I will put a couple of pats of butter or margarine on top of it. You see how I've lightly coated everything, and it's frying up really well. And you can also see that the cabbage is making its own juices and it's becoming wilty, which is that's what you want because it lets you know that it's cooking up everything very well. You see your carrots and your potatoes, they're tender to the touch. You see how that potato comes apart real easy like that. and how your carrots, they'll come apart real easy, or they'll be tender to your touch. Just keep letting it cook until it's tender enough for you to touch it, and it comes apart really easy. With our sausage, we have a splatter guard over them so that the juice and the oils don't splatter everywhere. But we usually, when we coat these with the seasonings, as you can see some of the seasonings on top of there, then we turn them over and we just coat those again once they start browning on the different sides. You see how you want to get those nice and browned? But these are not done yet. And that's our timer indicating that our cornbread should be done. Once we're done with our cornbread, we also will take and put a flat of butter or margarine on top of the cornbread as well. See how nice and brown that is? Delicious. While they're hot, we usually roll some butter on them so that they will absorb the butter. And then by the time you're ready to eat, they're still nice and warm, or you can put them back in the oven as long as you turn it off. And then they'll be nice and warm by the time you're ready to eat. We'll be back in a moment once our food is ready for us to taste. Thank you. A couple of extra notes about today's meal as well. When I'm making the sausage, sometimes your sausage is going to make its own juice as well as its own oil. So you're going to want to make sure that when you have the lid on and you start seeing the oil and the juices flare up there or cook up after you've seasoned it, as you can see, you're going to want to drain that, and then you can start using the splatter guard to replace it after you've drained off that excess oil and the excess juices from your meat. A couple other things too is I've already added my butter to my cabbage because it's all cooked down. It's nice and wilty, as you can see. Nice wilty, it's not firm anymore. Your carrots are cooked very well. They're coming apart really well. Your carrots, of course, are coming apart really well, and your potatoes are cooked. You don't even see your onions anymore because they've melted down so well into the meal. Once you've done that, then you may want to use a little table salt to your cabbage, and that's up to you if you want to use a little bit of that, just to add a little bit more zip and zing to the taste. Because of the YouTube constraints as far as time is concerned, we weren't able to show every single process with this particular meal, but of course, you're more than welcome to write in or, for future reference, we'll have an email address posted and we'll be able to give you specifics. Thank you. We'll be right back. And we're back. We're ready to taste our food now. And this is our cabbage with our carrots, potatoes, and onions. See how nice and tender that is? We've added a little salt and some butter to it after we cooked it down. This is our beef sausage. This is kind my daughter likes. She doesn't like hers well done. But me and my husband, we do. I'm going to try both of them. Our sweet cornbread. Thumbs up as usual. Thank you, Ellen, for joining us. Avita Zane. It's delicious.